What's up, guys? This is another episode of Off the Post, and I'm having issues already with the show. As you can see, if you look at everyone's head, there's a bunch of hats, and it looks like there's a new host with Danielle Redcap on the show, but I'll let her introduce herself later. As you know, I'm DJ Redcap, and like I said, this is another episode of Off the Post, where we're talking about the fun stuff, the World Cup qualifiers. Oh, that red hat came off. I see how it is. Okay.
I'm not a hat person. Not a hat person.
That's a sweet hat, though. But yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about World Cup qualifiers today. I think we might even touch that silly lawsuit, even though Karen touched it, and you guys really responded well to that OP. So I think good job on Karen. Yeah, people love that OP, by the way, Karen. People were going insane about that. If you guys didn't check out, Karen did an opinion piece about the lawsuit, and so it seems like a lot of you made some comments. If you had a chance to check it out after this show. This is mainly World Cup stuff a little bit, and then you'll see a few more shows throughout the week once the World Cup qualifiers continue to go. World Cup? Why do I keep saying World Cup? Olympic qualifiers. I made that mistake earlier. Dude, I'm so stuck on a World Cup from last year. Olympic qualifiers, blah, blah, blah. So I'll let everyone introduce themselves again, and we'll start talking about Olympic qualifiers. Karen, how have you been doing?
Good. Pretty good. Same as always. Working, writing, watching soccer.
Sounds like the story of all of our lives. Very well. And Danielle, it's been a long time. Where have you been, or where have I been that I haven't seen you?
Where have you been? I've been on a few times. But, nope, just working, like she said, getting ready to go down to Dallas next week for qualifiers, so I'm excited about that. I mean, one more day of work in between me and vacation, so...
It's always a struggle that final day before vacation.
You can do it.
I can't. I can't. Give up.
Just push through. You'll make it.
Thank you, guys.
As you guys know, if you want to talk to us on Twitter, use the hashtag WoSoTalk. If you want to talk to us on Facebook, leave a message on our Facebook page, since we are kind of that popular now. Or you can just leave a message on one of the posts you see on Facebook, and we'll get back to you as we usually do. So shall we just dive into this about the World Cup
Olympic.
Qualifier? Oh, I'm going to do that. Because we did so much World Cup stuff. That's all I think of a qualifier. So I'm going to keep making that mistake. Olympic qualifiers. It's so bad. It shows what I've been thinking about the whole time. So I guess we can just talk about the roster and team a little bit. See what you guys think of it for the most part. Like I said, I think we all know this team is expected to walk through these qualifiers with pretty much ease. So I guess with the roster, what are you looking at with this roster? What do you want to come out of this? You want some young players to get experience? Are you looking forward to seeing, I guess, even like a little bit the question we're talking about later, like how she's going to do the lineups or whatever? What are you looking forward to with this roster?
Who? Sorry, I didn't hear who.
Karen. Probably cut out. Yeah, cut out, Karen.
Okay. So I'm expecting to see more of the youth players, actually, especially since we're going to be playing teams that are way lower than we are in the rankings. So I'm expecting more McCaffrey. She's definitely going to be trying Haran, Mewis. Hinkle will probably get some play. But basically I'm looking forward to seeing what Jill Ellis does with the lineup with the youth. I know there will still be some veterans there, but without Holiday and without Pino, the midfield I think is going to be the most interesting for me. So I think what I'm expecting is O'Hara to be in the midfield, probably on the flank somewhere. And then she's probably going to have Haran and McCaffrey somewhere in the middle with Carli Lloyd. Maybe switch them out. So that'll be interesting. Maybe O'Hara above Ali Krieger or something like that. And then I'm also interested to see what she does with the forwards. So that'll be interesting. Maybe Press and Morgan, if they can figure out how to work together, that'd be cool. What else? Yeah, pretty much I said Morgan and Press getting minutes together because they both have a lot of speed. Morgan has the whole baby horse thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Press has that fantastic finish. And she's super crafty, and I think she's very unpredictable as well. You don't know if she's going to shoot. You don't know if she's going to cut to the side and then shoot or do a pass for somebody else to shoot. She's just like all over the pitch. So press will be interesting if she actually gets some minutes. And then I'm interested to see if Morgan's done any growth since we last saw her, because she still has to work on that finishing, you know. So yeah, I would definitely keep pretty much the same defense with Brune and JJ if they are recovered. I'm assuming they're recovered. I saw them in their like training gear, so I'm assuming they're going to be fine. Maybe clean Krieger, maybe keep the defense and then move around the midfield, and then for the top, Press and Morgan. 'Cause I don't even know, is Mallory, is she forward?
Yep.
Yeah, they'll probably mess around with those three because I don't even know if they have anybody else. Maybe O'Hara. I don't think there is anybody else.
I guess I had a question for you real quick since you said the midfield would be a big deal. So you're not looking forward to clinging the midfield? What's up? I'm joking.
I know. People keep saying that, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Right.
You have so many players that she's trying out. She's tried out Horan, McCaffrey, O'Hara. She's tried out so many different players in that midfield. She's not gonna move clean up. That's just silly.
Yeah, I thought it was weird when we saw it even that one time, and that I think it was the last game, was it, or something?
That was bonkers.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
All right, Jill. Cool.
It's cool, Jill. You won a World Cup. You can do whatever right now.
Fine.
Danielle?
I mean, I think you covered it. I'm looking forward again to the young players getting time, seeing how they kind of gel with the team. Obviously, there's a lot of veterans who are missing, whether it's injury or didn't get included in the lineup. Gonna not rant about my favorite person who got left off. I'm excited to see Pugh. Maybe I'll rant later. Who knows? I shouldn't say I won't. But I'm excited to see how Pugh fits in. She got, 15, 20 minutes the last game and scored.
Yeah.
The hype is just crazy around her.
Yeah.
She's living up to it so far, so I would just love to see her with the team a little more. I'm excited because she just seemed confident and not intimidated by the team. So in a tournament, in qualifying tournament, see how she plays, see how she gels. That's what I'm most interested in.
All right, I got to ask you, so who's that player that you are pissed off that they're not on there?
I mean, I get it, but it hurts that Heyo's not on.
Okay.
I get it because I was going through today, I was looking at the roster, I was like, okay, who would we leave off? And she didn't, in the official call-up list, there's 5 forwards, 5 mid, 7 defenders, I think, and then the keepers. And looking at the mid, I can't see who I would leave off. So I kind of understand, but at the same time, maybe I just hurt because, we all saw it coming for so long. I mean, during the World Cup, we saw it coming.
Yeah.
And then the fact that she wore the armband at the end of the last game, she had a great victory tour. I don't know. I think I worry because, the Pinos, the Holidays, these veterans who are there aren't on the roster, whether it's retirement or injury. Losing another veteran who's a leader of the team, I don't know. And I'm very, very biased. I admit that. I'm very, very biased, so I'm clouded by that.
Okay, what team do you support in NWSL? So
I don't know. FC Kansas City.
Okay, we just
all of them.
It's fine.
No,
I'm admittedly biased.
But no, I agree with you though, because I felt the same way with her. That was one player where I think I was shocked too, but then it was one of those things like, well, who would you leave off? And I remember the people that everyone attacked Hinkle so quickly too and violently. I did not like some of the stuff people were saying. Like, it got brutal, personal stuff, pulling up tweets from 30 years ago. You all were horrible how you attacked that girl.
Those tweets weren't from that long ago, but that's not here or there. It was from last summer. It's not like it's from 5 years ago. It was from last summer.
30 years, DJ.
But no, it was crazy. Because I was shocked. I don't follow my Twitter like I used to, and I was like, wow. I was like, this is serious. They really don't like her. So it was just, all right. Well.
There was quite a bit of hate, and it was kind of scary.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I wasn't used to that hate because I don't follow Twitter. So I mean, if that's how Twitter's going nowadays, and hey, maybe I'm just old-fashioned Twitter person on there.
No.
Maybe it's changed a bit. But Karen,
People are a little crazy.
This fandom? Whoa, that sounds fake. This fandom's not crazy.
I have to make a mental note of that.
Maybe that's for later in the show as well.
That's later in the show. We'll talk about that. But like I said, Karen, that was a good segue actually by you, Danielle. Who would you have left off for it? Well, people forgot about, I think, Engen. I haven't even heard anyone mention her name, but who would you have left off for Hale if you could think of anyone?
You know, I feel really bad about Engen. I really do, because everybody is just so angry about Heather O'Reilly, and then it's just like, oh, Engen, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just, she's just never really been there in the first place, and that sucks for her. But, I mean, there was just never really room, honestly, because we had that foursome back there that was just phenomenal through the entire World Cup. And then we also had Rampone, who is one of the fastest, bestest, I just said bestest, oldest players.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Bestest.
We let it pass. We let it go. We let that slip through.
She's an amazing player, and she was on the bench too. So, I mean, for England, I mean, it just was bad timing. So then you get Heather O'Reilly, who has been like such a huge part of the team for such a long time, and yeah, you definitely did kind of see it coming.
Yep.
Which was sad and upsetting to watch, but I mean, really, you did see it coming. So it's kind of, I don't know, I'm split because I'm really sad because I love Heo. And she has an amazing personality, and she has that game face that is just, like, legendary.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing player. I mean, people posted on the Facebook group that goal that she scored against Colombia during the World Cup in 2011, where it just, like, bent right into the corner. And she just pulls stuff like that out of nowhere, and she can still do it. And she's still, obviously, at the top of her fitness. But I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to just, you know, people keep talking about how she's off the team now, but I mean, this was just the Olympic qualifying matches that she got left off.
Right.
So maybe I'm being overly positive. It might just be that she's not going to play in these next couple of games, and she's still going to make the Olympic roster. Jill Ellis hasn't put out that roster yet, so she might still be there. I didn't even think about the armband, the captain's armband, so now I'm, like, sad again. But, I mean, at the same time, you have McCaffrey, who seems to be kind of like a young Heather O'Reilly in a lot of ways. She's got that tenacity. She is a hard worker. She's really good at the through passes.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting to see because that's not really been the U.S. women's national team kind of style of play for a long time because Abby Wambach pretty much gets on the end of any kind of cross that goes in. So that's how they've been playing for, like, decades now. And to see, like, these, like, slippery, like, through balls from McCaffrey and Horan and other players like that, I think that the team is kind of trying to go into a different direction now.
Yeah,
right. It might just be that Heather O'Reilly doesn't fit into that direction because she is such a good flank player and she is so good with the crosses. Then again, like, on the other hand, who are we gonna have taking corner kicks? We know that O'Hara can do it. If she's the best on the team, probably not. But without, like, Heo, without Holiday, without Pino, those were, like, the top three. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of shift in that way. So we'll see. They still have JJ, who can be in the middle, because she obviously is really, really good at that. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting without Heo. I'm interested and also sad to watch.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I remember, like, I did my opinion piece on this, and the thing is, how I feel about it with Hale is that she's a player that even if she doesn't play the Olympic qualifiers, that you can still plug her in and she'll be ready to go because everyone knows how she plays, everyone knows what she do. She's kind of like you just plug her and play her and she'll be fine even if she doesn't play the team right now. So I'm not too worried about her not playing right now, and I feel like if an injury or something pops up, she'll be good to go no matter what. So that's why I guess I wasn't too worried about it. I wasn't as upset as everyone else. And also the thing is we did see it coming, how she's been treated through the Jill Ellis era for a bit, and the team is changing how they play for the most part, and she's one of the players that never really seemed like Jill Ellis wanted to play her as much as some of the other players. So if Ellis was going to go younger and choose someone else, she would have been a player that was going to kind of get kicked off. But I still see her as a player that's going to get in there because something can happen. Somebody might just not perform well, and you could throw her in there, and she'll fit right in how she plays on the flank. Just give her the ball, let her do her thing, and she's good to go. So
she's
so
a
winner.
Good.
She's a winner in everything she does, so she'll be good.
Right.
She's such a hard worker, and you know that when she actually, if she gets onto the Olympic roster, she's not gonna go in there and be like bitchy about it. She's gonna be like, all right, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's Heather O'Reilly, and she's always like that.
And one thing, this is one thing, it's funny, it happened during Amy LaPelle, but except the difference is for Heather O'Reilly, she's not injured or anything, and she's off the team. We don't know if she'll come back or not. But LaPelle got hurt, and I remember talking to people, because I'm a big LaPelle fan, I always loved LaPelle, and then she got hurt, and I said, well, we all know how, I remember talking to someone on Twitter, and I was like, we know how national teams go. You get hurt, especially sometimes when you're older, there's always a young player waiting to take your place usually, or they're looking for the next young player because national teams go through rotations. You don't sit on a national team usually like a Rampone. That's rare and unusual to sit on a national team for those many years when you get hurt or something and still be called up and stuff. And I remember telling someone, I was like, well, that injury might be the end of LaPelle. I remember it was years ago. That injury might be the end of LaPelle's national team. I don't see her getting back on the national team. First, she got angry. I was like, these are national teams. There's always that young prospect that you're like, well, I want to bring them up that can take your spot. Especially if you're older and you get hurt, or if you're older and just older like Heather O'Reilly and they're looking for younger talent. That's the way national teams go, people. I don't know if this is your first national team rodeo, but they're always looking for a younger talent to plug in there, develop them, and then maybe they'll get good. So it's like people have to calm down.
And being somebody who's really biased and wishes Heyo is on there, it's been pointed out, and it's a really great point. 1 year ago, we were all complaining, like, man, this team's so old, and we're the oldest team in the World Cup. Why are we so old? And then we're like, why are we putting in all these young players?
They killed me. They killed me with that because I was getting so upset, and I was just like, I'm so happy for all these young players. Finally, people are getting mad. I'm like, what are you mad about? I was mad about last year of all the old players.
They were mad because their favorite players weren't the ones being cut. But.
Exactly. And I think it's really funny, too, because I've seen a lot of people like, God, Heather O'Reilly should just quit the team and she should join another team. And I was like, where's she going to go? Is she going to become like a French citizen now?
She's cat-tied.
Like, what?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? People...
She plays for an amazing club team, and, you know, like, people are crazy. I'm like, what is that?
Oh no, just some of the stuff you see them saying, like you said, it just blows your mind or whatever, and it's just like, people, you are overreacting. It's not that serious, but
it's like the same people who are like, oh, the U.S. women's national team should just like pull away from U.S. soccer and start their own. And I was like, and what are they gonna do? It's U.S. soccer. What are they gonna do? Where are they gonna go? How are they gonna get money? You all need to like slow your roll or something. I was just like.
See, you guys are making me want to get back on Twitter and start trolling again. Don't tell me this.
Don't
tell
me
this.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. I used to be bad. But we can move on from this since, like I said, the Heyo subject. And Engen, hey, Engen, how you doing out there? We still miss you kind of a little bit. No one really, well, at least Karen went to bat for it. There you go, Karen, for fighting for Engen. But we can talk. Right, we can talk about this all day, but let's look a little bit more at players who we think are going to stand out a bit, who we expect to stand out during these qualifiers in the World Cup. We will go with you, Karen. Who do you have as a player you think might stand out?
Steph McCaffrey is my #1 player that I think will stand out. And then #2 is Kristen Press, if she gets minutes. I feel like Jill Ellis really doesn't have a choice now. She kind of has to put Press in because she literally has nobody else. So I think Press is definitely going to want to make her mark. She's going to want to score a lot of goals and make things happen out of nothing, which is what she does best, and it's what pisses me off the most about her when she's playing for Chicago against my team. And it's what I love the most about her when she's playing for the U.S. Women's National Team. So I feel like she's going to start doing that during the qualifying matches for sure. She's going to use it to make herself a star in Jill's eyes. And then also McCaffrey. She's just such a good midfielder. And she works so hard. And she has been putting in some amazing through balls. I was watching really closely in the last game, and I was just like, hey, this girl is so good. And she just happens to like always be in the right place, right time. So I'm really excited to see her on the pitch. So it's going to be really interesting. But yeah, definitely Kristen Press and McCaffrey are going to be my top two to watch.
Yeah, the thing is with McCaffrey, which I was about last year, is watching her at Boston. I said I would love to see her play with some talent, and now that she's on the national team, she's around a ton of talent, so it's just much easier for her to just play her game and just show off what type of talent she is. But some people I've seen actually not care for her. I like McCaffrey's game. I rated her highly her first season after like it was just lob the ball to McCaffrey for Boston and let's see her take on the world. So I want to see her what she does around like all these other good players. I think she'll continue to excel. So it's good on her. Danielle?
It's hard because, I don't know what way Jill's going to go with the roster. It's so different, so it's all so dependent on what she does. To steal Karen, Press, if she plays Press as a forward and not a mid.
Right.
So I think Press can be, all she does is score.
Yeah.
And I think she's just so talented, and I really do love her a lot. So I think Press could be. I think if Mallory gets minutes, I think she could be a standout and really do well. It's just I don't know where Jill's going to go with this roster. It's so hard to tell.
That's true.
It's such a cop-out, I know, for me, but so let me go with the safe answer. Carli Lloyd. She will stand out somehow. Probably score maybe a goal. Probably. That was a cop-out answer.
We'll take it. Personally, for me, I thought one of you were going to steal this one. Crystal Dunn. I've been waiting for this girl to be on the national team. I've been waiting for her for so long because I remember last year, she said, when are we going to see Crystal Dunn? Is Crystal Dunn going to make the World Cup? Yes, I meant World Cup this time. Is she going to make the World Cup team? And we were like, oh, no, Crystal Dunn. And she just went off and started scoring goals all in the NWSL. So it's like now she's finally a national team member, and we know she's going to be a mainstay for many years to come. So I want to see her go off this tournament and just score a ton of goals. I've been waiting for her for so long because we've seen her talent from day one, a lot of us. So that's my player. McCaffrey's actually a really good one too, but I've been waiting for Dunn for the longest time. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shame on Danielle for that cop-out. I'm very disappointed in you. All right, guys, let's talk about our expectations for the Costa Rica game, since that's the first one, I believe, coming up February 10th is that game, right? 7:30, I can't do Central, that's what I'm about to say, CT, thank you. So, Danielle, we start with you since you're going to be the one traveling and stuff. What are your thoughts on the Costa Rica?
I'm going to be there, so it's going to be awesome. And, no, I love Costa Rica. I have a soft spot in my heart, so I'm really excited. They do have the most fashionable coach in the game, so that's cool. So there's that. I think they're going to play us hard. I know that the score lines were pretty, we scored a lot against them in the Victory Tour games. I don't think it's going to be that big of a margin. I think that they're not, they're fighting for a chance to go to the Olympics. It's not, favorable necessarily for them, so they have to play their hearts out. And I think that they need a strong opening statement. And if they could hold with us, I think that will really help them. So it's going to be a tough game. I still think we're going to win. Not obviously, but I still think we're going to win. I think it might be something like 5-1. I got that by looking at the score lines from the Victory Tour. It's not as big of a margin as those games. I think we're going to score, but I think it's going to be a lot tougher.
Okay. Give me your first goal scorer for us. Who's going to score first?
I'm not copping out and saying
Carli Lloyd.
I'm not going to do it. Alex Morgan. I think you know, there's so much with Alex. I want her to definitely just make a big opening statement. I'm definitely back. I'm not coming back. I am back, and I'm going to score goals, and here I am. Alex Morgan.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that one. So Alex Morgan for Danielle. All right. Karen?
I like Danielle. I do. I do. So let's see. Costa Rica is the team that has a lot, or well, actually, they have nothing to lose, really. I mean, they need to leave everything out on the field. If we don't dominate that game, if we don't win that game, that will be like the biggest, most like mind-blowing craziness that has ever happened in any sport ever. So, I mean, Costa Rica has nothing to lose. So it's not going to be as big a margin, just like Danielle said. I said 4-0. We do have our youth that we're trying to pull into the team. We do have a lot of crazy stuff going on with the roster, all of these pregnancies that got announced. I mean, there's just a lot going on for this team right now. So it's going to be kind of up in the air as to if we score a lot of goals. I really don't think we will, because of the youth, because we have so many different new people that are playing, trying to make their mark. So it's going to be interesting. But I said 4-0. And I think the first goal is going to be Alex Morgan as well.
All right, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's my turn, I guess. It's funny, you guys kind of talked me down off of my score. I feel like I got to knock it down more. But I feel like it's going to start off like a tough comes through the first 10 or 15 minutes because they have nothing to lose, as you said, Karen. Then after we get probably that first one, it'll open up a little bit and we'll probably score a couple more, especially if our starters out there. But then I feel like the second half, like it'll probably go in, maybe we'll go in 3-0 or 4-0. I'm guessing like 3-0 at halftime. And then maybe we'll get 2 goals here or there after a while in the next half. But I think with the subs and stuff, it's going to be rough with all these new people and stuff to really see us just attacking like we used to have those beat downs. I think this would be like a 4-0, I'm thinking the game would be. And I guess I got to choose a goal scorer since I forced you guys to choose one. Oh, cop-out's Carli Lloyd. I will go with Lindsay Oran, maybe.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe she'll score one, I think, because I think she's going to probably have a pretty decent tournament. I didn't mention her, but I think she'll have, hopefully, I'm hoping these people have decent tournaments because I want these young players to, I've been preaching for young players for the longest time, so I want to be proven right. Like, yes, we should have played them earlier. But no, I actually think she'll probably do pretty good. And I think maybe I could see her scoring one. Maybe she'll score one off of a corner header for whoever's kicking the ball out there. Yeah, so maybe a header from a corner. So that's what I'm predicting. All right, so yeah, so there you go, guys. That's my prediction. I'll be proven wrong. Other than that, does anyone even want to mention that lawsuit? Because it's sickened me to my stomach. I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
All I'll say is screw U.S. Soccer because they should know better. I don't care. Okay, I do care, obviously, and I don't want to talk about it. But you know, the actual reason for the lawsuit, the collective bargaining, it's all important stuff. Has implications not only for that team, but I think there's a lot of conversations that can be started for the NWSL. Blah blah blah. They knew what they were doing when they included the contact information. You don't make a mistake like that. And I don't care if it was an accident. They know how crazy the fans are in this fandom. They know. We know. These fans are crazy, and they're stalking issues. I mean, you guys see Tumblr? These people, there are people who literally stalk these players.
Yeah.
They're terrifying.
And you know,
I'm like, y'all need to just slow down, take a deep breath. You scare me.
Yeah, it's creepy. And you know, their families' addresses and stuff like that. Now, some of the apartments, okay, they probably moved, you can tell, but you know, there are families. I mean, Rampone has children. It's stupid, and I'm so mad about it. I can't even say because it's dangerous. And you know, and Sydney said, you know, they've had guys show up on their hotel. When I was in Winnipeg, I was walking around downtown, and I could tell when I found their hotel because creepy fans were standing outside. these fans are creepy and awful, and you posted their home address, you posted their email addresses. Screw you, U.S. Soccer.
Yeah.
There you go. And we've brought back the rant section. I thought it was retired, but I think Danielle just revived it.
I'm really mad because, being an older fan and being, I try to think I'm not crazy, and being part of being a part of a supporter group that does include, FC Kansas City has some of these players, and I feel, sometimes being part of a supporter group, you feel a little more protective over your players, and I do feel very protective, and the fact that their employer, because we think of it, it's U.S. Soccer, that's their employer.
Yeah.
Their employer put them in danger, and if it was, if it was an accident, fine. If it wasn't an accident, to put them in danger to kind of get their way. I don't want to curse, but it's wrong, it's evil, and I hope they get what's coming to them.
Yeah. I've had like a lump in my chest for like the last couple of days because I'm just like, this is the grossest thing that you could possibly do to your people who have brought you 3 World Cups, countless Olympic gold medals, all of the Algarve Cups that they have won, all of the money that they've brought into U.S. Soccer, and they do this. It's bullshit. I just curse bullshit.
Thank you.
But no, the thing is, I won't even lie. When I first saw the first thing, I said, "Oh, they did that on purpose." It's like hit back at her. That's what I thought. That's why I was just like, "Wow, they're really mad at these players." So I thought the exact same thing, that it was on purpose. I was like, U.S. Soccer did that on purpose, like to try to get their way, or to say, "Now look what we can do," or something. But it's insane, really.
And even why I don't think it was necessarily an accident. And then you got places like that address. You have the email addresses, which doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but now all of these players have to go through, change every legal, they use it for business, it's their brand. So you have that, not only their house, their business, all of that. It's just, I can't.
Yeah, it's a mess. If you guys want to check out more, me and Karen talked about it a little bit on her opinion piece, which, like I said, I thought we did a pretty good job, but that was a major point too. I think we talked about it a little bit, but
a little bit.
Yeah, but once again, you got to hear our opinion on it. But I think that's pretty much everything, guys. It sounds like Danielle has a lot. We should have brought her on that opinion piece.
I have a lot of feelings about soccer. That's just
no, but it's good stuff. That's what we're here for, to talk about, and hopefully you guys have
something to say about that. You're a robot, because that was nasty.
Yeah, I agree. And if you guys have anything you want to say, definitely leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too, by the way. We've been getting, since we changed channels, so that's been a thing for us, try to get everyone back on with us. Other than that, girls, I think we did a good job, right?
I think so.
Yep. The qualifiers and rub it in our face as much as possible.
I'm taking a lot of pictures, don't worry.
Okay, thank you. You better send them my way. I will post them to the Facebook and show off to people. Other than that, me and Karen will be watching from afar in our lonely little areas, not close to the qualifiers, but
it's fine. I
You'll get out there. Don't worry. Other than that, guys, my name is Karen Blackcap. I mean DJ Redcap. Off the post, and hopefully there she goes again. That's so cool. I'm gonna steal it from her. And we will see you guys next time, since we got so many qualifiers coming up. Olympic qualifiers. All right, you girls wave, and I will end the show right there. There it is. Bye bye, guys. Take care.